Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom, and we are working on Rapunzel. So I'm going to do a quick video. This is being filmed the day before you guys will see this. Need to get it done. Child is exhausting. So we're going to be looking at, and I've covered this channel before, called the Resurrectionists. Yes, the Resurrectionists, and she's doing this video specifically on why was this woman the real Rapunzel? So this talks about kind of the background of the fairy tale. Now obviously the tale that we know is from the Brothers Grimm. There are slightly older ones that change it just a little bit, but the real tale she's kind of talking about is about Saint Bridget, or Saint Barbara, sorry, which is a Christian legend. She is not considered an official saint any longer because there's no evidence she really existed. And the tale was she was a very devout pagan. Her father tried to marry her off. She did not want to, so he locked her up in a tower. She became a very devout Christian. Doesn't explain how. Why locked in a tower. And while her father was away, she told some of the builders from her window to basically create 3 windows when they were building. Her father comes home. He realizes what she's done. He takes her before the courts. She's considered a heretic. Again, this was, I think it was the Roman period. So they lock her up. They cut off her hair. They torture her. And eventually her father takes her to a hill and cuts her head off. And then she's taken by a Christian and buried. And then eventually the bones are given as part of a dowry and are now in Syria. Yeah. And but the Catholic Church, some time ago, just kind of quietly removed her because there's no evidence she really existed. Nobody knows where the bones came from, whose bones they are. But she is still celebrated in, I think it's Turkey. It's either Turkey or Syria, I'm not sure which. Basically, it's that kind of crossroads between the Middle East and the Mediterranean kind of area there. So, I have cats banging at my door. It's about a little over 14-minute long video, but it looks into the history of the tale of Rapunzel and where it came from. And yes, and I believe I mentioned this in my original video, when the Brothers Grimm, whose original purpose was they were folklorists, they were trying to just compile German folk tales and German fairy tales. They realized that their stories, their books were becoming popular with families and children, which is kind of funny because their original book was called Children and Family Tales. So they sanitized the story just a little bit. It went from the witch finding out because Rapunzel got pregnant and she asked, like, why is my clothes not fitting around the middle? To she accidentally asked her about why on earth the witch was heavier than the prince, I believe. And yeah, and of course the fairy tales that most people hear, even in Tangled, well, Tangled is a completely different story, but they kind of skip over the part where, she has twins. And that also leads into some of the Sleeping Beauty tales. And there's a cat attacking my door. We'll get to those. Sleeping Beauty's on the list, just not next to Cinderella. So it's a very interesting video. I do recommend the channel, but it kind of gives you a historical background to Rapunzel. And again, it's about 14 minutes long. I've covered her before, so I do recommend the channel. It's very good if you're looking at the history of fairy tales and nursery rhymes and just a lot of kind of the old folklore and fairy tales. So that is really it for this video. Again, I'm doing this a little fast while my daughter does Legos with my husband, because by the end of the day I'm exhausted because kid and summer. So like and subscribe. I will be finishing up Rapunzel, and I will be doing Cinderella next, followed by Aladdin. So, thank you.